Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving right into the intersection of physical supply chains and blockchain technology. Specifically, we're going to look at VeChain and exactly how it bridges that massive gap between physical logistics and secure on-chain tracking. So let's just jump right into it.
Think about this for a second. How do you actually know the products you buy are real? I mean, whether it's a luxury handbag, a really critical car part, or literally just the food on your table, global supply chains are this crazy labyrinth of ships, warehouses, and middlemen. Trying to prove authenticity through that absolute maze? Yeah, it's a massive modern economic challenge.
Section 1. The supply chain problem.
At its core, legacy businesses really struggle with three main things: logistics, tracking, and data management. Just think about the sheer volume of data generated when a single shipment crosses the ocean. In traditional systems, all that data is siloed across dozens of different vendors. It makes it super fragmented and, honestly, highly vulnerable to tampering or even just simple data loss. The industry absolutely needs a fundamental upgrade in immutable transparency just to keep up with global demand. We really have to move away from these fragile, disjointed databases.
Which brings us to Section 2. Enter VeChain.
Now, VeChain actually launched way back in 2015. And, in the highly volatile Web3 space, that kind of longevity is incredibly rare. It really demonstrates an established long-term architecture built specifically to tackle enduring real-world enterprise problems, rather than just riding some fleeting market trend. They've essentially spent years refining their infrastructure to meet actual on-the-ground corporate needs. So what is it? VeChain operates as a blockchain platform heavily focused on supply chain management via distributed ledger technology. Think of the distributed ledger like an unbreakable clay mold for real-world data. By logging physical data, like the exact origin of a product or its shipping temperature, directly on-chain, that data becomes completely immutable. It fundamentally enhances enterprise efficiency because, well, it removes the need to trust those fragmented legacy databases we just talked about. Instead of relying on a third-party auditor to double-check everything, the cryptographic truth is just baked right into the workflow. Section 3. Connecting physical to digital. Okay, let's dive into this. How do they actually do it? Well, the bridge between physical boxes and the blockchain relies on smart chips and IoT. By embedding intelligent hardware directly into items or even their packaging, VeChain literally enables inanimate objects to securely broadcast their own status. It's wild. This creates a continuous automated flow of real-time verification data straight to the distributed ledger, entirely bypassing those messy human bottlenecks. Let's look at the journey of just a single box. First, at production, a smart chip is attached, which immutably logs the item's creation data. Then, during logistics, IoT sensors automatically update the ledger as the box moves through different checkpoints. And actually, by removing manual human data entry, it essentially mitigates the Oracle problem. That whole risk of false data being entered onto an otherwise perfect blockchain. Finally, at delivery, the end consumer or the enterprise partner gets instant tamper-proof verification of that product's entire history. Section 4. The dual token system. Now, what's really interesting about this setup is, unlike single token blockchains that are subjected to just wild fee volatility, VeChain actually splits the ecosystem. You've got VeCh, which is kind of the heavy engine. It acts as the store of value and governs the smart contracts. And then you have VTHO, which is basically the essential fuel used specifically to pay for transaction fees. This separation is a huge deal because it decouples market speculation from network utility. By doing this, businesses can accurately forecast for cost of using the network. And let's be real, predictable costs are an absolute mandatory requirement for any major enterprise adopting a new tech standard at scale. Moving to Section 5, Proof of Authority Explained. So the crucial point is how VeChain secures its network, and they do it using proof of authority. Rather than relying on energy-heavy, decentralized mining like you'd see in proof-of-work systems, PoA uses a specific whitelist of trusted, known validators. Now, yes, this is absolutely a trade-off against pure, permissionless decentralization, but it provides the massive transaction speeds, incredible energy efficiency, and enterprise-grade accountability that large-scale logistics networks actually require to function. Honestly, for a Fortune 500 company, knowing exactly who is validating the network, that's a feature, not a bug. It ensures regulatory compliance and rock-solid stability. Section 6. Real-world enterprise adoption. And this brilliantly illustrates that this technology isn't just theory. Major enterprises are actively leveraging this architecture right now. Take the automotive industry, for example. Companies are tracking parts back to their exact factory origin to ensure safety and drastically streamline recalls. In high-end retail, luxury brands are mathematically proving authenticity to completely eradicate counterfeiting and protect their brand equity. And across general logistics, it enables frictionless tracking, which saves an immense amount of time, reduces administrative overhead, and frees up operational capital. Guys, these are tangible, real-world upgrades to legacy supply chains. So what's the bottom line here? The bottom line is that VeChain isn't just some theoretical white paper. It is actively connecting blockchain infrastructure with real-world enterprise needs. By taking the invisible, highly secure nature of distributed ledgers and applying it directly to physical boxes and logistics, it's literally forcing global supply chains to become significantly smarter and way safer. It essentially takes trust and replaces it with pure mathematical certainty.
This leaves us with a pretty critical question to consider. How will mathematically guaranteed, safer supply chains change the way you shop and trust brands in the future? Think about it. When authenticity is no longer just a marketing promise, but a proven mathematical fact, consumer behavior is absolutely going to transform. Well, thanks for joining me on this explainer today. Keep questioning, and I'll see you next time.